diplomatic studies, interfaith studies, spiritual development, etc. Dr. P.R. Trivedi has designed a master plan paradigm for leading India by providing appropriate guidance to the government of India in the areas of skill development, entrepreneurial leadership, besides managerial competence among the young girls and boys by advocating the slogan, Catch Them Young. Dr. P.R. Trivedi has been a pioneer in introducing environmental education project in 1980 and cleanliness, hygiene and sanitation education, that is CHASE project 1994, by collaborating with different governments and non-governmental organizations besides universities, colleges and other institutions. The three books, namely Narendra Modi, The Man India Needs, Ramnath Kovind, From Ranks to Raisina, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee, commemorative volume authored by him, have been pursued and appreciated by millions as well as millions of Indians and foreigners engaged in public policy planning, management, and development. Ladies and gentlemen, we have amongst us Dr. Professor Priya Ranjan Trivedi. Sir, thank you so much for joining us for this exclusive webinar series. I welcome you to this session and I would request you to shower your words of wisdom to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear friends from Confederation of Young Leaders and the audience and the participants from all over the world. It's a great day as well as an auspicious occasion when Confederation of Young Leaders have decided to have a webinar on the main theme of the World Environment Day. And the theme is time for nature. The time has come when we really bother about nature. But before dwelling on this important topic, I would also like to remind you regarding the tracing of the origins of the World Environment Day celebrations. Why is it celebrated? Who designed it? Was Government of India proposing to have the Environment Day or any other country? No. The United Nations, way back in 1972, decided that there should be an international conference on environment, on human environment. So that conference was convened by UN and it was held at Stockholm in Sweden, where I was also a participant as a final year, fifth year student of engineering, bachelor's degree. That time, heads of all the governments had participated. India was also represented by the then Prime Minister. The entire team went there and the Government of India and the Indian team led by the Prime Minister was asked to dwell upon particular topic relating to environment, where the then Prime Minister spoke at length on the theme whether poverty is a pollution or not. And the Prime Minister stressed the need for removing and alleviating the disastrous effects of poverty, which is the worst form of pollution. That was the main start, and from there, every day there were discussions how to include poverty also in the one of the types of pollution. We were knowing about air pollution, noise pollution, soil pollution, food pollution, water pollution, but this pollution also came. And then UN also resolved the same day on 5th June 1972 that there will be a new body as an umbrella of UN system known as United Nations Environment Program, which we thought say UNEP. So UNEP was established and conceived, and then UNEP was asked to have the World Environment Day celebrations every year. So next year, in the year 1972 and 73, it was just planned, and in the informal manner, it was organized in 73. But from 1974, it was a routine work, and every country was given a particular topic, with also a provision of having a lead country where the main program will be hosted. This year's country selected by the UNEP is Colombia, where just now the programs are going on at length, and Accordingly, in all countries, more than 196 countries of the world are going to celebrate the World Environment Day by doing one activity or the other. We have the COVID-19 pandemic and everybody is worried. So naturally, there cannot be an auditorium type environment where there can be a discussion or workshop or summit or congress. But through webinars, it is possible. In the morning, we had massive tree plantation in Paryavaran complex where we had maintained social distancing, and we said that personal distancing is a must, and everybody was standing at least 6 to 7 feet difference, so that there is no risk. Although government says 3 feet, but when there is a field and we have to plant trees, why not 6 feet, 7 feet, or 8 feet? That has been done. Now in different schools and colleges and universities, which we are monitoring right from the morning, many programs are being organized where through webinar only, through web-based programs and video conferencing, we have been successful in organizing at more than 10,000 places in India, essay competition, debate competition, dance and drama competition, elocution, or for that matter, environmental quiz, or the collage making competition, code competition on environment-related subjects. And then based on the results, there is a jury also monitoring concurrently the developments and who is speaking what, and the awards are also being sent through internet. The certificate looks like the same, but it's not a hard copy, soft copy. So friends, talking about nature, we have exploited nature in such a way that we have come to a point of no return. Even then we say that business as usual. No, we cannot say that. Somebody says we are doing the way we are working, but government will do something. Nobody will do anything. It is you and we have to work together to depollute our environment. It is something like touching 440 volts. You know, the 440 volt wire is there, and I or you, both of us, catch 440 volts. And then we say, oh, sorry, we won't do it again. Shall we survive to say that we won't do it again? I don't think. Anybody who touches 440 volt will die within moments. So it is something like that. We have come to a point of no return, but even then we are not bothered. And the way we are having the climate change, the way we are having global warming, the way we are having sea level rise, and this year's main theme is biodiversity also. So we should know about biodiversity. In Hindi, it is known as Javik Vividha. Many types of species are there. At least about 15 to 20 million species are there, and half of them are getting extinct. Maybe within 50 years, it will be very difficult for us to survive. So we have to protect our nature, and we have to has a big role to play because all are young. Everybody is between, say, about 18 to 30 years of age. In that case, it is high time that they promote this cause of catch them young. The idea is to introduce programs in at least about, say, 300 million students who are in the schools, colleges, and universities. And after we introduce environmental education, after we introduce disaster education, if we don't introduce disaster education, we will have to get sure that it will be a disastrous education. So there are two words, a disaster education or disastrous education. I think everybody would like to have a disaster education, not disastrous education. So these things are to be taught to the students so that they really understand. And last but not the least, I will take 2 minutes more. You know, we have to also change the system of educational process because the system was designed about 200 to 300 years back by Lord Macaulay, who was a representative of the United Kingdom, Her Majesty's government, and who came and designed an educational system where only clerks and PMs would have been produced to help the bureaucrats who were coming from Britain. So in that case, that was the wrong policy. Now there is a better policy. So we have to really modify or rather change the entire system where we teach as to how to have more number of job givers, than job seekers, so that everybody becomes a job giver. Only then the hopes and aspirations and whatever has been thought by our London Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi is translated into action by developing the curriculum of rural and urban entrepreneurship to be also introduced at the 10+2 level and graduation level, so that if the students are coming out, they will know that they should do activities which are entrepreneurial but eco-based in order to create environment-friendly and sustainable jobs. There's no need of creating jobs where somehow we'll pollute the environment. And finally, before I close, I would like to request you to remember two words always whenever you have a problem. The first word is neology, the other word is neocracy. What is neology? Neology is the art and science of evolving a new doctrine. In Hindi, we say Nutan Matavalamban, or for that matter, Vilakshan Mat. We have to have Nutan Matavalamban, or for that matter, neological approach to managing things. For managing the COVID-19 also, a neological approach is needed. That we have to really promote whatever is to be done among the common mass, and they have to understand. Only government will not do anything. If the doctors are to be educated, they have to be also educated in a neological manner. If there is a problem of unemployment, which is going to be more and more in coming 2 years because of the economic issues which are being faced by us and which will be faced in future, so there has to be a new approach, a neological approach to solving that problem also. Take any example, the neological approach is the answer. The other word is neocracy. What is neocracy? Neocracy is nothing but governance by new people. Nutan Shashan. I don't say old or new, but faces must change. Even young persons, there are a handful of persons in different parties who are always there on the TV. No, that is not done. Those who are not visible now, they have to come and take the lead, because through a neocratic approach only we can find the answer. Because those who are already in power in the parliament or assembly, we are seeing for the last 30 years, same people, irrespective of the party, any party, BJP or Congress, or for that matter, any other party. South also DMK, IDMK, in Bihar we say JDU and other RJD and all that. So faces are all the same. We have to change the faces, maybe old face or new face, better new face. So a neocratic approach is the answer. Nutan Shasan, because they will not have a bias for a particular system. New people will have new ideas, and that way India will be more prosperous day by day. With these words, I thank you once again for a patient hearing, and I wish this webinar a grand success. And if there are questions, I will have 2-3 minutes time when anybody can ask anything. If possible, I will be able to answer. Thank you very much. May peace prevail on this Mother Earth.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your words of wisdom, and we are really motivated about this. And of course, I can conclusively extract that you actually are trying to point it out that, you know, preventive measures are always better unless it's too late. And of course, we as youngsters have a huge responsibility coming out with accountability that, yes, being a young country and being the torch bearers of the country, of course, blended with the experienced people like you, we have to take it up further. I completely agree with you, sir. And sir, I, of course, would like to ask a few questions with your permission. First, sir, I have met you in person a lot, many times. And despite of being such an ignited personality and with a lots of achievements, you are so approachable. One personal question to you is, what is the secret of your energy?
Okay. That is a very good question. What happens, I use about 18 hours every day for good work. So I think that is the source of energy. Those people who work for 8 hours or 9 hours, they get tired after taking rest, because I don't take rest and I keep on researching on new ideas so that I could be of any use to the persons, to the government, to the institutions, to the colleges and schools. So working hard is the main secret. Okay, thank you.
And thank you so much, sir, again for highlighting one important point. we youngsters are actually getting confused with the difference between time management and daily work management. And again, what you have tried to focus on is work management, so that you get involved and you're not focused on taking rest and taking regular intervals, but of course you are work oriented. Second question, sir, if you permit, I would like to ask, we have seen a lot of your pictures with various presidents, I mean, the past and present president of India and the prime ministers of India. And what is the story behind that?
Actually, when I was in the engineering college doing my bachelor's and master's degree, I was very much meeting the director and the principal every day by telling them that yes, I have to come into the field of institution building. Institution building is a philosophy. As you said about me, that I have designed a new master plan paradigm. The idea was to research on institution building as to why institutions are created, why it dies, why it gets indisposed, why it gets sick, why it gets stagnated, and what are the prescriptions to overcome the stages of stagnation. Institution can be a hospital, a ministry, or for that matter, a parliament or assembly, or a college or a school or a university or an industry. Everything will come under industry. United Nations system is also an institution. So hotel is an institution. So I researched on institution building, and then from those college days only, when in my engineering college, the prime minister, or for that matter, the finance minister, home minister used to come, I used to meet them, and I thought, if I waste my time in educating others, it is better that I give suggestions and keep on giving suggestions to the prime ministers and the presidents and the vice presidents and other ministers and the chief ministers and the governors. From that time itself, whatever I was thinking, every week I was jotting it out and typing it with my own hand, because in the year 1970 I learned typing so that I can type at a very fast speed. So for me there was no issue in typing. Otherwise others would have got would have sought the help of a typist and all that. I was sending suggestions and I got a very favorable answer, which motivated me to meet them. Initially, in the olden days, there was no problem in meeting, but now it has become a little difficult. But because I have written so many books, if I write to them that I want to present the first copy or want to get the book released, every prime minister is happy. So we have met almost all the presidents and prime ministers after I finished my college days, and I've been meeting them, and then I've been suggesting them as to what is to be done. And the most important activity of mine is that for the last few years, I have researched on about 50 types of governmental systems, maybe a banking system or a policy for the adults or the children or the women or coastal areas or employment or even economic understanding or international relations or diplomacy or pollution, or for that matter, even constitutional reforms or geriatric care. So I have prepared a vision document which I have presented to the government of India. The beauty of that is that everything has been written by me. It is not quoted from anywhere. It is not the copy. Generally, once somebody writes an article, they generally copy the text and the principles by giving references. No, I have designed a new system as to what should be the policy regarding health in India. I have discussed the present system, and I said these are the fallacies. It is high time that we change, because we have spent more than 73 years. After, we cannot go by the same system. Work and study and micro student study, we must know what is the fault, why we are not productive. That is why, supposing for health, I am saying that if you want to have a zero budget on health, it is very a matter of laughing. It may be a laughing stock. I say that put the budget of health zero. Why? Because I'm longing for a day when the collection of drugless therapy which I have done by going to more than 100 countries. There are 525 drugless therapies which I have located, not innovated. I am not a medical doctor. Drugless therapies can cure anybody, and because there is no side effect of a drugless therapy, we don't require drug. So if we want to optimize the health budgets of the federal governments, the answer lies in drugless therapies. So likewise, we have policies for the young, for the old also. I'm asking for a new course on geriatric care. Geriatric care is the care for the elderly people, and geriatric medicine, geriatric health, geriatric counseling, geriatric security, geriatric entertainment, geriatric worship. If somebody is an old man and if he plays in the field, he may have problems. So what indoor game he will play? Can he worship for 10 hours? No, he has to do a short worship. So prayer should be short. So all those things are being done, and all the I would like to thank all the top officials, the heads of the governments who have cooperated with me and given me time, and who have appreciated also my work. I'm sure in future also their cooperation will be there with us, and that is my answer.
Well, thank you, sir, for sharing this. And I completely echo you, because nothing in this universe is permanent except change. The only thing which is permanent in this universe is change, nothing else. So I completely echo to what you have said. And also you touched about policy, and you touched the part of structures. Of course, when the work is not done in a structural manner, and if we do not have any structure designed for that, we will never be able to achieve the desired outcome. My next question is related to that. We talked about Macaulay, we talked about the structural policies. So according to your opinion, what is the role, or I would say what the role the Gurukul system would have played if it was still existing in legal entities, wherein we have of course read that, in Gurukul system, nature was actually one of the teacher. So what the role could have been played in 21st century by the Gurukul system to save nature, and not even to save nature, to preserve it, and to even take it to a further level of evolution?
Okay, Gurukul system was a good system, but we have to see also that we are in a third millennium and the 21st century. So we'll have to have a mix of all combinations. It's not that the Western system is bad, but we have to really take the best out of it. The way India is so unique, because the best out of every country was taken, and then it was dovetailed in the form of a thick book, which is a vision document and the Constitution of India. Accordingly, in the olden days, there was always a training regarding nature protection, because under the system of Upanishad, which means near sitting, Upanishada, is the teacher used to sit on the bench, or for that matter on a stone, and the students used to flop down near their feet, Upanishada. So they were near the tree. So tree used to be protected. There they used to see the species, the birds. So they were protected. Then they have food, so their health was very good. In that case, those things are to be taken. But it's not that we only study about Sanskrit. Rather, Sanskrit should be compulsory. But the other subjects, which are science subjects of modern today, should also be inculcated. So once we take the best out of every system, there is no doubt that we will be able to reach the milestone of success, and then we will be able to have efficiency in our system. Because we must ensure that whatever money spent by the government of India and the different district governments here, and accordingly in other countries also, we have to optimize the resources. I will give you a small example. I have discussed in my vision document policy, which is regarding tax policy, tax reforms. Now, if there is a tax notice, everybody gets scared, and everybody tries to see how to evade tax. There are many consultants, chartered accountants, who do tax planning. They do nothing but tell you how to evade, how to pay less tax. I'm not saying that. I'm longing for a day when thousands of persons will be in queue to say that I want to pay tax, I want to pay tax. And if there is some medical problem like COVID-19, if being in queue is not allowed, then one would like to pay through internet also the taxes, and that the tax collection could be 5 times more than whatever is being collected. But how? We have to see how to make it simpler, how to reduce the tax by asking so that everybody start paying taxes. So it is a matter of discussion, but one has to long for a day when 20 times more persons will be able to pay tax, so that government of India has enough money today, or every government has enough money for to be spent on the regulatory role of the government, the promotional role of the government, planning role of the government, and the entrepreneurial role of the government. So that way, I will give you another example. Suppose the police comes, everybody tries to hide and lock the room. No, if the police, we have to see that there is a developmental role of police which is to be developed. Rather, the attitude of the police has to be changed. The vulnerability has to be changed. There was I remember 1978, there was a Professor M.S. Gode committee which was appointed by the then government of India to see whether the attitude of police is right or wrong. In 1980, there was a strong recommendation that every police personnel, right from constable to the IG and DG, to the sub-inspector or inspector or DYSP or SP or the SCP or DCP or a DIG or a IG or DG, everybody must get some training in the area of attitudinal and behavioral change. And wherever I was responsible for introducing the program between 1984 and 1988 in different states, and after we did this training, conducted the training, and when we played many business games relevant to police administration, there was a sea change, and many of the officials had tears in their eyes that this they were not knowing. And moreover, the communication gap between the constable and the SP was reduced to zero. There is a big communication gap. So these things are to be done. You should not think that other systems which are prevailing should prevail. Everywhere a change is imminent, and only then we will be able to see a better world. Because the world we are seeing today, although we are satisfied, because we must have satisfaction always, but the fact remains, if we look back and see whatever was thought by God, where we are conforming to the God's plan, we are not doing it. So we must act accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's take some questions from the participants. I'm sure a few of them would surely have some good questions to be enlightened by you. I would request the participants to unmute themselves to ask questions. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Hello, Professor. It's been really nice listening to you speak, and it's inspiring as well. As a young person, I would like to ask you, what can we do in order to, create more awareness and bring about change, like ground level change in terms of environmental policy? Because you've said that we hold the future of the country, of the world in our hands. So how can we go about it? If you have some tips for that.
Okay, I will give the answer. First of all, I would like to tell my name. My name is Priya Ranjan, because the word A is mentioned, so sometimes it is pronounced wrongly. My name is Priya Ranjan. Anyway, talking about the role of youngsters in protecting our environment, I would like to say that because the government of India, at our behest, when we went to the Supreme Court of India through a PIL, in 2003, there was a landmark judgment where it was said that all state governments and central government schools and colleges and boards will have to have the curriculum right from class 1 to class 12 on environment. That is why you see that there are 12 classes and there are 12 books on environmental studies. Through that, they are understanding all this. In the meantime, they should also be talking to the senior persons. So the idea is to ask the school teachers and the college teachers and the university professors to talk to their students regarding smaller issues. Supposing garbage, there is a problem of garbage management, a big problem. You have waste. We have developed a technology through which in every school we can have a small plant where the waste, paper waste can be converted into recycled paper. It's a matter of about 150,000 or 200,000, I mean 2 lakhs, and the plant can be installed. The students can also learn how to make the recycled paper. That is one example. I'm talking of the waste management, is garbage management is a big way. The students will learn the art and science of garbage recycling for making organic fertilizers. Very simple. The earthworms are there from Australia, from everywhere. Earthworms are being imported. So worming composting and worming culture is a big technique through which the students will learn, and while they have some summer vacation or winter vacation, or if they are going for internship, they will ask the persons who are unemployed, who have either not finished education, they are dropouts, or those who have finished can go for a big business in garbage management. And that way we are longing for a day when garbage will be stolen, if not smuggled. I would advocate before the learned finance minister and external affairs minister, they must sit together, decide a policy. The garbage, the smuggling of gold must be stopped, but the smuggling of garbage must be allowed. In case we do not learn the art and science of converting garbage into gold, best idea is that Indian youth learns the art and science of converting garbage into gold, and then they earn tons of money and they go with this technology to other countries. Any town we see in India or anywhere, if there is no garbage management system, you will find somewhere on the road the garbage post, and if there is a newcomer coming to that area, he or she may not ask where is the garbage post. The answer is very clear. If somebody asks you, I have come today by renting an apartment, where is the garbage post? So no, walk down on the street, wherever there is a stinking environment, there will be a garbage post. That should not happen. It should be cleaned every day. Recycling is a must, and then we can have alternative sources of energy through garbage. So smaller examples are there, and it is the young minds who can learn. Those who are very senior, who may not be able to operate the smartphones in an optimum manner, but the children can do it. So they will learn this. I don't say that you only enter. You have to keep on studying. But while you have free time, you understand drastically, and you transfer the technology to the persons who have decided to do business, they can be motivated to do business. So they have a bigger role to protect the environment and many more things. Thank you.
And let me add on to one thing. Apeksha, you asked a really good question. Thank you so much for asking this. I would like to add on to Apeksha's question, sir. According to you, sir, what is the role of teachers and parents other than the academics to inherit into the children so that they become more and more respectful towards environment and nature? How do you see that? I mean, what is the important role which the parents and the teachers play in a child's life for this?
Actually, parents and teachers have a big role. Sometimes we are finding that whatever lessons we are giving to the fathers, the same is not replicated for their children, because they somehow have a guilty feeling that something very backward type of lessons were given to them by their forefathers. So let this not go to the children. They are wrong. Whatever new training is given, that is all right. But the traditional Indian ethos and the cultural heritage also must be taught, so that the young minds must know their role, and they should know that yes, they are Indians, they have to be proud to be an Indian citizenry, and then they should also know about the history of our country, about the history of other countries of the world, about the natural resources, conservation and management, what is the importance of rivers, what is the importance of mountains. These things are not discussed at home. People just allow the children to play PUBG or something like that. So that is not good. But even if they are busy in the classroom setting and the lessons they have to prepare, I mean, the curriculum has also to be modified and amended to ensure that the nature protection activities, Mother Earth protection activities are to be taught there, because it is very interesting also. If somebody asks me about the environment of Lakshadweep or asks me about the capital of Lakshadweep, I will say Kavaratti. Supposing somebody asks me the capital of Mizoram, then it is Aijan. Accordingly, we have to understand about every place, about geography, about birds, about also the wildlife. So all those things are to be discussed at home. Instead, we talk something not very good. And then there is a role also of television, electronic media, and the print media. If on the television, if we don't introduce the green journalism, now is the time for green journalism. So if green journalism is started, we'll have more and more news about environment, which will help the children to also change their attitude towards environmental protection. So everybody has a role to play, and unless we have an integrated policy, it is very unlikely that by having a policy for protecting the environment is there and other things are not there. So integrated approach is also the need of the hour.
Thank you, sir. And if anyone has a question, they can unmute themselves, and please feel free to ask any question directly to Professor. This is a great opportunity for all of us. Okay, if anyone wants to frame a question, meanwhile, sir, I have another question for you. I'm sorry, I have a lot of questions because it's always great and fruitful experience to talk to you. And I personally would not like to miss this opportunity. So my question is related to multi-purpose era. So in this era of CFCs, and when we talk about global warming, when we talk about ozone layer depletion, thank God it's now getting healed by itself. So what do you think? I mean, when we talk about, you also mentioned that, being Indian actually is a matter of pride. I completely echo to what you have said. And when we talk about pride, with pride comes power, with power comes responsibility, followed by accountability. How important it is as an Indian citizen to take an individual accountability and even to ask questions on incorrect policies all across the globe, and then to take command in your hands to do your bit to save this environment. How important it is as an individual citizen of India?
Actually, every Indian must know that they are the government. Somehow they feel that they are the receiving end and they have got no guts, because we were under the British rule for 300 years. So that has made us weak. We have to think that we are independent and everybody has a role to play. If you see that something is wrong, you must write a letter to anybody you like, to the president, to the prime minister, to the chief minister, to local persons, to achieve the milestone. Coming back to whatever has to be done by all of us, I would also like to tell you that everybody should be proud of being an Indian citizen. Take off COVID-19. It came to India very late. And in other advanced countries, the position is so alarming. In that case, it can be proved that India is also a better country. Many of my friends who have been settling there, they say that, okay, it is a little bit cleaner than India, but otherwise it seems to be very dangerous. So what is required? That we are very laborious, we have a better immune system, and we have been trained to be at any situation, in any environment. Even if there is no electricity, we can survive. Or even if it's very cold, we know how to survive. But what is badly required is that if something is lacking, we unite and talk to the government. If the policy is wrong, we talk to them. Just making a policy and not getting implemented is the wrong thing. What is happening in our country? The policies are made and then everybody thinks it will be implemented. Implementers are so illiterate, and even if they are literate, I will call them academic illiterate, that they have a degree but they don't know as to how to implement a program. Supposing disaster management, nobody is trained. The district authorities are asked to implement. What will happen? If there are some dishonest officers, they will make a false bill, because it is always said that for disaster there is no audit. That doesn't mean you invest money and steal money, unless there is a training. On a helicopter, 30,000 puri and sabji packets were thrown. Whether it is 5,000, 30,000, who is going to know? But we have to have a training regarding disaster preparedness, disaster management, as to how to control avalanches, or for that matter, earthquakes, or even forest fires, or even floods. So even, landslides, or tsunami, or El Nino. So we have to be trained for the future, because future is very bright, provided we get alarmed by this situation, which is also an opportunity to us to learn. Honorable Prime Minister has been asking for Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and we started this in 1994. On the 20th anniversary of our launching Swachh Bharat, Honorable Prime Minister also started the Clean India movement. It's very good. But what is happening? People are not trained. Now, because of COVID-19, everybody washes their hands for, say, about 5 to 6 times. It was not being done. So that way, necessity is the mother of invention. So don't think that this corona virus is only damaging. It is giving a lesson also. Accordingly, the individual's role is most important, and all individuals must think that they have a role to play. If they think that they have a role to play, India will be more prosperous and will grow by leaps and bounds. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And if anyone has a question, please feel free to ask.
Otherwise, I think many speakers are there, and I would like to thank Mr. Himadru Suman and his team members, who have really organized in a very good manner. And I do not know, in the rural areas, internet connection may be weak, but here it is all right. So I've been able to hear the questions in a very good manner. And I thank each one of you very much. And maybe when we have the next webinar on some other topic, because there can be dozens of topics which are very important. Even a discussion can be there on COVID-19, and also whatever is the medicine and who did it. And then finally, we have to also think one day about the post-COVID-19 economic scenario, how to recover the period of stagnation which we are going to face very soon. And we can also have a discussion about what could have been done to really save the workers who are working every day, who are going by train, and who had lots of pain during the last 1 month. So what could have been done? I will give you a small hint. The government thought of good thing, but government means set of persons who think in a very good manner. They are very honest people, think in an air-conditioned environment. That's all. After that, it will be implemented by the same team who have no training. That is why things have gone out of control. So likewise, many new topics will be there. And once we meet next, I know there will be more and more questions, because by the time they will also learn as to how to jot down the questions, or for that matter, they can also message the question to the moderator and the anchor. So thank you very much, and wish you good luck. May peace prevail on this Mother Earth, and may our Mother Earth be protected on a continuing basis. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot for sharing your words of wisdom and ignited personality, an action-oriented man of vision. Thank you so much for sharing such a wonderful words of wisdom. And I'm sure each one of us will be motivated to do our bit, because it is our responsibility to take this environmental challenge to a next level wherein we all step in and do our bit, do something, and even help each other, because now is the era of global integrity wherein we all have to work together. And this is why I know that you have been focusing on the slogan of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam as well. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us on a lot of important issues, and I'm sure that we will realize that we also have a huge responsibility to fulfill now. Thank you.
Okay, so by the way, I had also asked all the Facebook friends of Vasudha Kutumbakam, World as a Family, and many of them are participating and they are viewing. So I thank them also. Request and a short notice, they have been participating, and thank you very much, and may God bless each one of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And on behalf of Confederation of Young Leaders, I would again like to thank you for sparing out of your priceless time and sharing such a wonderful initiatives you have taken as an individual. And I'm sure that youth will be inspired by you and your words of wisdom. And I'm sure that we all are going to do our bit. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, fellow participants, for participating today in this exclusive webinar with Dr. P.R. Trivedi. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope it was a fruitful experience to all of you. Thank you all for joining. Stay tuned with the CYL, and of course, you will be getting a lot of opportunities to tune into a lot of webinars and international conclaves, of course, as of now, virtually. Thank you all for your support and participation. Thank you. So with this, we come to the end of today's webinar. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much once again. Stay tuned to Confederation of Young Leaders, and we will, of course, be sharing a lot of opportunities for such wonderful and fruitful webinars. Thank you.